I don't like being negative, especially about the media I love. But you can't close your eyes from justified and constructive criticism. With that said, welcome back, my friends. Lars here. With the sequel for Alien Isolation finally in the works, now this is the time to tell Creative Assembly what we actually didn't like and what they could do better this time. So let's pretend they watch my video, read the comment section and give them some advice. Not from some snarky video game journalists, but from actual fans of the franchise in the first game. I'm gonna present you with my own thoughts, the opinions I gathered from a Reddit post I made about this topic, and I also got some interesting tidbits from a data mining sleuth. Oh, and we're also gonna take a look at the snarky video game journalists. One last thing before we start. If you like this kind of content and want to see more about Alien Isolation and other alien-related media in the future, consider subscribing. And now, let's go. With our handy little hacking device, we can open doors and access computers to open doors, or find codes that open doors. Maybe give us some more stuff to hack and grant us the ability to manipulate our environment this way. We got those rewire stations, just combine and expand upon this concept. It's all right there, just make it deeper. Give you more control of opening and closing doors, venting sections into space or causing distractions. The hacking puzzles themselves are quite repetitive. Most of the time we get this. And sometimes this. The last one always makes me nervous. More of this, please. Also, be brave enough to put them into time-sensitive situations more often, like in the server hub. There are also these weird puzzles. What's up with those? Come on, you can do better. I know it's a minor thing, but that doesn't mean the developers shouldn't enhance our experience. More variety in puzzles, more impact in the environment, and more danger. That's it. Amanda is introduced as a crafty character in the beginning of the game. So it makes sense to me that she's able to improvise a device or two. But I can't be the only one to feel like the crafting system was bloated and shallow at the same time. How many different devices can be crafted? Flashbang, smoke bomb, pipe bomb, EMP grenade, Molotov, noisemaker, stimpack. Anyone else feel like at least the flashbang and the smoke bomb could be removed without distracting from the gameplay?
Please eliminate 3. I am not a crackpot.
And then we got the upgrades. V2, V3. I must say I barely noticed any real improvement. For the longest time I couldn't even tell you what those upgrades do. The game doesn't bother to tell you. But it seems like they generally make the devices stronger. For the Molotov and pipe bomb that doesn't improve much, since the alien will flee after a hit from those. The Molotov is a death trap when playing on Nightmare, since the tiniest bit of fire will kill the player instantly. I learned this the hard way in my latest Nightmare run. By the way, I stream my attempt at finishing the game on Nightmare once again, so come check it out if you'd like. Now, with the V3 upgrade, something interesting happens. The devices, when set down to function as a trap, start beeping. I must confess I didn't know that. I also don't have any footage of it, so you're gonna have to take my and those Redditors' word for it. The problem is that this will attract your enemies. This could work fine when you're only up against humans and just want them dead, but the combination with the unpredictable aliens spells trouble. And since you can't revert any upgrades, you might even regret finding a V3 upgrade. That's not good game design. So I say, leave the crafting in the game, but streamline it a bit. If you have to have upgrades, make them more impactful. Maybe bigger magazines for the weapons, less materials needed for useful devices, something like that. That one is easy. Too many androids. The problem isn't the androids in the beginning or the concept of the working Joe itself. I think they are awesome. Creepy, snappy one-liners.
Running causes accidents. Why not ask me about
And undeterrable in their quest to remove you from the station for violating Sevastopol's safety protocols. But after mission 10, they simply overdid it. As I said in the previous video, maybe they wanted to make us believe that the alien threat is over, but that doesn't make any sense.
And it goddamn worked, Ripley. It goddamn worked. I got that thing. Jettisoned it into the gas giant. The station's safe.
Yes, we ejected our stalker into space, but the game isn't over, and we all know that we haven't seen the last of the Xenos. From a gameplay perspective, the androids were needed for creating some variety. That's fine, I wouldn't want to miss an android in my alien game, but don't let me fight against literal hordes of them. The solution? Take the step and introduce other alien types. In my previous video, I suggested some types and how they would fit into the gameplay of Alien Isolation. No, I don't want hordes of Xenos to gun down, but there has to be a middle ground. As I said, watch my video about Xeno variants if you want some ideas for implementation. Now, this is the big one. Quite a few people complained about the way humans behave in the game. As Reddit user Gramsay put it, number one pet peeve of mine is not androids or Xenos, it's the hostile humans' weapons and the super trigger-happy dumbasses that hold them. That pretty much sums it up. Most of the time, a group of survivors means trouble and a possible roadblock. Especially on Nightmare mode, those bastards snipe you from miles away with a revolver and one-shot you back to the last save point. What's even more egregious is their priority to blow your brains out, even if the alien is in the vicinity. We need better AI for those guys. It just takes you right out of the immersion and makes you remember that those aren't people, those are NPCs put there to make your life miserable. As I said in my previous video, the human survivors need to be more interesting and varied in aggressiveness. Let us find out if we need to avoid them or if they can be talked to. The scene I showed here is this.
Did something back there just explode?
That's the least of your problems. The creature's nearby.
You heard the lady. Let's go.
Awesome. Amanda wants them, they take a hike. But can you spot what's wrong here? I sneak around and try to distract them with a flare, because I have no idea that they won't shoot on sight. Hell, the only reason I do this is because I was going for the trophy you get for not killing humans. Otherwise, I don't know, I might have just started blasting. The game needs to give me some hints. The Reddit user I cited also brought up something intriguing. And along with the above, the speech script files also indicate that the humans' actions were not supposed to be hostile all the time. There are speech script lines where the humans backed off after talking to or with the player. Why was this removed? Ripley's line to Marlowe in Mission 15.
Listen to me! We don't have to do this!
In the generic speech file, and is also a line she was supposed to use on the hostiles, but never does. Please look at the links in the description. This is not based on my own research, credit goes to MattFilers and the Reddit user for bringing it to my attention. So, there you go. This is it. We don't even need to tell Creative Assembly. They know. They knew 10 years ago. They just couldn't get it to work in time. This is so exciting. 10 years later, they finally get the chance to make it right. No more idiots shooting you when the alien is already stomping towards you. No more mindless NPCs you can't reason with. I'm telling you, it's gonna be an amazing time when we get this game. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I never actually read the IGN review, the one that gained an almost infamous status in the fandom. So I'm gonna do this now. Maybe we will even find something we can learn from. I mean, how bad can it be? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. When I thought about common complaints that Creative Assembly should not listen to, they are all in this review. Where even to begin? And the genius who wrote this review hit every time the alien showed up and waited until it's completely gone. Wow. No wonder the game feels frustratingly hard and long when you're that bad at it. A slower, quieter crouched walk from locker to storage cabinet to under a desk is often the safest method of progression. I never crouch walk. Just Don't run and you're fine. You hide in a locker, storage cabinet, or under a desk. Stare at your motion tracker until the creature completely leaves the area, and then you proceed as quietly as possible toward your next objective. I mean, sure, sometimes you need to hide, but ever heard of flares, noisemakers, outmaneuvering? Playing on hard mode means the xenomorph can get you anywhere at any time, giving you no opportunity to avoid death and run you down if it hears so much as a pin drop. What does that even mean? Be quiet, use the environment, plot your routes. I'm not saying you're gonna breeze through the game. Sure, sometimes it can be frustrating and you're gonna call it a night before reaching the next checkpoint. I'd really like to read a Dark Souls review from this guy. A 5.9 is ridiculous. Take away a point for repetitive missions. Another for sometimes unfair actions of the alien. You cannot give this game lower than 8, in my opinion. Personally, I'd give it 9.5, losing half a point because of the goddamn androids and the stupid behavior of the human survivors. The only little kernel of truth I can take from this review is that the last few missions feel a bit redundant. This brings me to the final flaw of the game. Yeah, you could have cut an hour or two of gameplay without making the game worse, but especially when playing for the first time, you start getting better at it, and the game gives you the opportunity to use your skills and gadgets to more easily traverse Sevastopol. But even with that said, that doesn't mean the sequel needs to be shorter. Just use all the ideas presented here and in my previous video to make it a bit more rich in variety. So, that's it. Thank you for listening. That means a lot. All I've got left to say is have a great day, subscribe, and see you next time.